How'd it feel back on the practice field today, Rube?
I liked it. Yeah, it was good practice. It wasn't too hot. It was a warm day, but it wasn't oppressive. It was a good practice, some good work, and I enjoyed it.
What was it like when the Eagles were on the field and you were in Canton, obviously, for the enshrinement?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I always had your Twitter feed up. So
I don't tweet very much during practice anymore.
Yeah.
I end up missing stuff if I try to tweet. So.
Yeah, but you had to feel like before practice,
Mhm.
who was injured and who's not practicing. And then I think I told you this, I would sit there and reload our Eagles page waiting for your obs to go live so I could read about practice. Because, you get into such a routine this time of year. And I love being at the Hall of Fame, but yeah, it was weird not being there.
Yeah, it's weird when something's happening and you're missing it. And there's like a little bit of FOMO there.
Definitely, yeah. But
This
it's
is
good to be back.
Definitely. This is Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan, Ruben Frank, and Dave Zangaro. Today was day 9 of training camp. Full pads in this practice. Pretty long practice, hour and 44 minutes.
Scheduled for 2 hours and 2 minutes. So
okay. It went a little under.
I think it was pretty good work, and just take it in.
Yeah, normally Nick has a pretty good feel for when to push, when to pull back. So you defer to him on that.
We don't have a choice.
We could come on here and nitpick and complain about it.
Yeah, I think when you win a Super Bowl, that's not going to happen.
One of my favorite themes of Vic Fangio's press conferences are like the little passive aggressive.
It's great.
Like every single press conference, there's something about and the work that we get.
It's so funny.
And I don't think it's like a shot at the Eagles. I think it's a shot at the state of football today.
That's fair, because a lot of this is legislated by the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only so many minutes you can be out there, only so many padded practices, only a certain length you can do, only a certain number of practices. It's all in the CBA. So, but it's hilarious. Like, it'd be like, we got a lot done with the time we had. And he never fails to do it. It's great.
I do enjoy it. It's kind of like you wait for it in a press conference and then you check it off when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to just hop into it today?
Let's do it.
Plenty of stuff to talk about. A little bit later, we will talk about what Vic Fangio had to say. We'll get into some of the press conferences. Then we have a bunch of questions that have piled up over the last few days. So we'll get to those as well. But we'll start with the injury report. Did not practice. Zach Bond, A.J. Brown, Lewis Seen, Montrell Johnson, Trevor Keegan, Terrace Marshall, Byron Young. Second missed practice for A.J. Brown. I'd imagine he'll miss several more. It's a hamstring injury, so they're just not going to rush him back.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Limited. Charlie Hewlett, Mac McWilliams, Andrew Makuba. Thought you were going to do the Drew thing. I thought that's our new thing. No? You don't feel it?
No.
Okay.
It's got to happen organically.
Nolan Smith and Ben Van Sumeren. Worth noting, Jahad Campbell and Devontae Smith were removed from the injury report, so they are now full go. Other injury stuff, Nolan Smith, you and I both watched him. He left the field early. Still limited with that concussion. Don't know what to make of that. Maybe it was a part of the plan for him to go in early. He did some one-on-ones, but he wasn't doing team drills yet. So I don't know what to make of that. We'll find out more on day 10. And then Kenyon Green went in early. He lost his breakfast on the practice field.
Kenyon wasn't feeling so well.
No, Kenyon was feeling a little green.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah. And, he can't, look, if you're sick, you're sick, but he can't afford to miss a whole lot of time.
I don't think he chose to be thrown up today.
No, I'm not saying he did, but he can't afford to, and maybe part of it is fitness, and you're going hard. It's hot out day after day. You got to be ready for it. Maybe he wasn't.
There was a moment where he was thrown up, and Jordan Mailata, I think it was just giving him a hard time, kind of like laughing. And then he was on the ground for a while, and Jordan was like, okay, maybe I'll leave him alone and let him try to recuperate a little bit. He spent some time. I think he tried to get back in, and then a little bit later he had to walk inside.
Yeah. But he did under his own power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tyler Steen, there was a moment where it looked like he was really hurt. He was down on the ground, just laying there for a minute. Cam Jurgens kind of kneeled next to him, and you're thinking, uh-oh, what's going on? Is he going to miss some time? Nope, didn't miss a single rep. And it was a period where the ones just got done. Then they were going to go right back on the field, and he was right back in there at right guard, which means he has still taken every first team rep at right guard this summer.
And I love that you have that every day in your obs. That's a standard. Good for him. He showed me a little bit there because, look, if he missed a snap or even the rest of practice, he's not going to lose his job. But after what happened last year, I
He
don't
doesn't
blame
know
him.
that. Yeah.
I don't blame him for, sucking it up and getting back out there. And I'm not going to give anybody the opportunity to even think about competing for this job or taking this job from me. So he didn't have to do that, but good for him.
Yeah. I wonder if that's in the back of his mind. Like, I can't take a playoff.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, he talked about that when I talked to him, I guess it was a week ago. He's, about like the worst thing is when you lose your job just because you got hurt. You can't control that, but I'm sure it's in his mind.
Some good notes coming on Tyler Steen a little bit later in these obs. Keely Ringo got the first crack at the outside cornerback job today. So it's now 5-4 total days. Adoree Jackson has 5 days. Keely Ringo has 4. We can kind of intersplice some Vic Fangio throughout when we talk about this practice. And before practice, he said it's close between those two guys.
Which I think we said the other day. It is close, and they're taking turns having good days and bad days. Not bad days, but lesser days. I'll bet Keely gets the first crack at first team tomorrow to make it even. That's my guess.
Okay.
They even it up at 5-5.
I like that.
That's my guess.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
Now, still no Drew Makuba in team drills, so Sidney Brown getting all of those reps. So it's been 8 of 9 days Sidney Brown has been in the nickel package, because in base it's still Cooper DeJean, but he's getting all those reps. And it was just 1 day of Andrew Makuba. It was day 2, and then he got hurt before day 4 came around. So if there was a chance they were going to go one off, or 1 day Sidney, 1 day Makuba, we never got to see that.
Right. And Sidney's making the best of this opportunity. I mean, he came in. This is a guy he's in great shape. He's healthy. And he's got experience from his rookie year. So I think we said this before it even started. I thought Makuba was going to win the job, but Sidney's not going down without a fight. And now he's kind of gapping him just because he's getting all the reps and he's got this head start. So we'll see how it goes and when he comes back and what it looks like. But right now,
for the sake of the battle, hoping we see Makuba back on the field soon, because I still think he has a chance to win it.
I do too, but with each passing day, I think Sidney probably has more of a chance. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
And I think it was close before they even started. Sidney's got that experience edge.
Yeah, but the defensive coordinator already downplayed that experience because it came before he was here.
Yeah, he did say that.
Trott and Jahad Campbell were the inside linebackers without Zach Bond and with Nakobe Dean still on the pup, but we saw some Smile Mondin in there too. He's getting a lot of first team reps.
Yeah. I mean, they just have too many linebackers. If you get an offer, for Zach Bond, you have all these other linebackers.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I am joking, but when Smile Mondin is your fifth line, he's had a good camp and he makes plays. He's really active. I think Trott's been really good. Trott's really taking advantage. We talked to Trott. We'll get into that, but really taking advantage of this opportunity, all these first team reps.
The last depth chart note I have.
I love their linebackers, Dave. It's incredible. There's so many. We mentioned Nakobe's going to be back at some point. You may speak now.
Thank you. Cameron Williams got his first second team reps of training camp at left tackle.
It's exciting.
I was excited. Punt returners: Anaya Smith, Cooper DeJean, Jahan Dotson, Taylor Morin, Giles Jackson. Avery Williams still working as the personal protector, and I don't really understand it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Giles Jackson conversation later in the pod.
Yeah, no, that was the play of the day. I can't wait to get to that either. But let's start with the defensive play of the day. To me, it was Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
It was 1s versus 2, so he's going against Tanner McKee and the second team offense, but it was just a pretty interception, his second of the summer. And the reason it was impressive to me, he got eyes on the quarterback, left his man, like he read the play, jumped the route. It was a pass, I believe, from my vantage point to Harrison Bryant, the tight end, and he just jumped in and ran the other way. So not only does that show him reading the quarterback, knowing the defense, but it also showed his hands when he got there.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that just wasn't there for him last year, as great as he was. If he can get his hands on the ball and catch it and get 5 interceptions, which I don't think is out of the question, he's an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowler. You know what I liked about that play was even after the whistle was blown, he just kept running. It was one of those winding, twisting, curling returns. It was a really nice play.
Last week, I think early in the week, you and I were talking, and you said Quinyon was probably the best player in camp, and I said it was AJ. Now that AJ's missed a couple of days, I think it is Quinyon. The body of work, he's been overall their best player in camp.
Yeah, Cooper's talking about how much he's improved, and it's funny because Quinyon Mitchell didn't have to improve. He'd still be a really good, top 10 easy corner in the league, but he's really gotten better.
Yeah, I think all-pro is a possibility, and there are other really good corners in the league, whether it's Surtain or Stingley, or see if Sauce has a bounce-back year. Like I think there are really talented corners, young corners in the NFL, but gosh, he's right there with them.
Yeah, he is. He's just fun to watch.
He is. You want to skip ahead to the offensive play of the day?
Yes.
This was third team versus third team. It was Dorian Thompson-Robinson. It was the longest pass of training camp total. I think about 50 yards.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I estimated. He just unleashed a deep ball. I don't think it was the right placement on it. I think he tried to throw it to the outside shoulder, and it kind of drifted inside, but that made the play by Giles Jackson even more impressive.
Yeah, he just kind of turned his body and showed great body control, I thought, and then caught it. I mean, it was like one thing to get in position, and it was not a perfectly thrown pass. But yeah, he really turned his body, kept tracking the ball really well, and caught it. I think Parry Nickerson
trailing in coverage.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible coverage, but he got open. Giles Jackson is a guy that I looked around and everybody was looking at their roster to see who it was, which was kind of funny. But he's a guy that
not me.
I know.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, Dave has his roster memorized by day one, but it was a really cool play, and yeah, the place went crazy. That was one of the best plays of the summer.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch him track that football, to find it in the air, have the body control to adjust, and then finish it at the catch point.
Yeah,
it was a great play.
It really was, and kind of surprising to see. I think when it was in the air and you're seeing who it is, you're like, he's not going to catch that, and to see him adjust to that ball the way he did was really impressive.
Yeah, and good.
It's a kind of play that, I mean, he's not going to make the team, but I mean, that's a kind of play. Like if he makes the practice squad, you look back at that play, and that play could make him some serious money.
Yeah, I totally agree. From Tarleton State.
Yeah,
Tarleton State.
You know where that is?
No, I don't.
It's in Tarleton. I don't either. I can look it up. Tarleton
State. Jackson was a tryout player at rookie minicamp, so he wasn't even signed as a UDFA. He had to earn a spot on the team. So good for him, making the most of this opportunity.
It's in Texas. It's a member of the Texas A&M University system. So I guess it's like the Penn State Abington of Texas.
Okay.
Classes begin August 20th. Archer to deliver Tarleton State.
Wait, did I screw this up?
I don't know.
Giles Jackson is Tarleton State. Yeah, I got this wrong. That's Darius Cooper.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Giles Jackson's Washington.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, we've learned a lot about Tarleton
and he
State.
played at Michigan first. I was like, wait a second. That's not right.
Yeah, he went to Washington. I remember that, looking that up during practice. But anyway.
Yeah. Great play by him. Let's talk about the backed up drills today. Eagles have run a lot of red zone drills, but it's important to work on backed up too. So they had them inside the 5-yard line, the -5. So some fun competition. It was basically like first team versus first team, second team versus second team, third team versus third team. You get a first down, you get a point for the offense. You stop them before getting a first down, point for the defense. And it was really back and forth for a while.
Yeah, that was a good action there. That stuff's fun to watch. Nick loves that situational stuff.
And I think players do too, because it's like it makes them compete, and it becomes a little bit of a game. And it's a way to get the players who aren't on the field involved too, because then they're rooting for, if you're on the third team, you're rooting for the first team and vice versa. It makes it a lot of fun. And when it was tied at the end, Jalen Hurts delivers an out pass or an out route ball to Devontae Smith, first down. When in doubt, go to 6.
Yeah, you can just see like the energy level picking up when they do that kind of stuff. Those kind of situational drills, kind of a little more juice.
Eli Ricks, he's next on my list.
Eli Ricks
had a couple more pass breakups today. Did give up a deep pass in one-on-ones, but he's starting to make plays every day. And Vic was asked if Eli can kind of insert himself in this cornerback competition, and he said, "Yeah, he can."
I've always liked Eli Ricks, and yeah, he played a lot as a rookie, undrafted kid. He was around all last year. He on the roster, not on the practice squad, which tells you they like him. They just had too many corners once Isaiah Rodgers was here, and I don't know where he fits in, but I like the player. He's tall. He's long. I think he's fast.
He's confident.
He is. Yeah, I actually talked to him briefly after practice, which I'm surprised I didn't get arrested for because he wasn't on our list of guys we could talk to. But yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. He's in his 3rd year now. And
it'd be possible for a player like that to, I mean, he didn't play much at all. It'd be possible for a guy like that to lose confidence. I don't get the sense he ever did.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And you can see it on the field. I mean, if you're a corner and you're not confident, it's going to be obvious. But I mean, just from what I've read over the last few days, including today, I mean, he made a couple plays today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would take. I think I wrote about this before training camp that I thought he would get some work with the ones in there with Adoree Jackson and Keeley. He hasn't yet. It'd be interesting to see if he does.
I think he can make the case he deserves some.
I think he can. Yeah.
Yeah. Eli Ricks obviously started his college career at LSU. He was like a big time recruit.
Big time, right.
So he's always kind of been on the radar. Then goes to Alabama. He played well there. Went undrafted, which was kind of a surprise. Been with the Eagles now for a few seasons.
He's really, really skinny. And, maybe that has something to do with it. I asked Vic about that, because your corners here have to support the run, be physical, and it's not really his game. I mean, he's a guy that can run and cover. And I said, "Is that going to be an issue for him?" He said, "We'll see. We'll see once we get into the games." But he's going to make the team, and I really like the player. I think that you could do a lot worse with a starting corner than Eli Ricks.
Yeah, I think so. In his rookie season, he played a little bit inside, and we haven't seen that at all.
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot.
One-on-ones, O-line, D-line, they were fun today. And good note on Tyler Steen. Won both of his reps against Moro Ojima.
Yeah, how about that?
And Ojima's really kind of killed him all summer. So you see 97 line up against 56. You go, uh-oh, here we go again. But back-to-back reps, I thought Steen got 2 pretty definitive wins.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. The first one was Moro had a quick move trying to go spike inside, and Steen's feet were quick enough. He got beat off the snap, but he recovered so well and made that play. And the next one was a bull rush, and he was able to handle it. So I thought that was a really nice step in a positive direction for Steen.
Yeah, it's really encouraging to see him do stuff like that because he wasn't doing that. Well, I mean, he didn't practice, with the ones very long. He didn't practice at all last year before he got hurt. I think he came back and got hurt again, I think in the preseason game. It was an ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he came back to practice after missing some time, then got hurt again in the preseason game. So last summer was just a lost summer for him. But he does, I mean, look, the consistency's still not there, but he does look improved.
Jordan Davis beat Brett Toth on back-to-back snaps. Good from Jordan Davis. Swim move and then kind of a push-pull to get beyond Brett Toth. Josh Uche took it to Miles Hinton a little bit, my surviving camp guy, but I think these reps are really valuable against kind of a crafty veteran who's had a decently long career. These are ones where Hinton gets better.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Uche's really shown up lately.
Yeah, he's the guy after the top 2 that I've been most impressed with.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's kind of gapped the field. I mean, who's one guy basically, but yeah. But again, it's early. We'll see.
Yeah. So on the 2 reps, the first one, Hinton's got to respect the speed, so he kind of oversets, and Uche quick enough to get inside of him. And then the second one was a bull rush, and I think Hinton wasn't expecting that. It's tough when you have a guy with some power and some speed, and they can do that to you. We saw that with Jalex Hunt. Jordan Mailata shut him down the first time, and then I think Hunt surprised him with a really powerful bull rush.
Yeah, and if Uche can demonstrate that he's effective doing both, he's going to be the third edge. Because that's what I mean, if you're an edge, you need to be able to do that. You need to set up one with the other, show speed or show power, and then mix it up. If you can do that, you're in business. So I think as we sit here now on August 4th or whatever it is, I think he's the third edge.
It looks that way. Yeah. He's definitely, I mean, it's been a quiet summer for Ojulari.
Yeah.
Like disappointingly quiet.
I think so. Yeah.
Because the body of work is there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even last year, you had 5 or 6 sacks and missed a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm. The only other one-on-one note I had was Ty Robinson. They keep putting him against Lakin Vakalahi, who, no disrespect to him, but like he's not only is he new to football, but he's also new to the guard position, newer to the guard position than tackle. And Ty Robinson, he's a rookie, but with all that extra time at college, he's more advanced than most day 3 defensive tackles. So he's kind of just taking it to him in all these drills. And I really want to see him with someone else.
They're trying to get his confidence up.
Maybe. I don't know. But they're such clean wins that I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who it benefits.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. He looks good out there, but
yeah. Well, I think he's had some nice moments in team drills too. I didn't make my notes. He had one against the run today, which is always like a little tough to parse out exactly, especially when you're not right on the ball, like exactly who's responsible. But it looked like he was in the middle of a nice run stuff today. We've seen him bat some footballs at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He's been decently active.
I would agree with that. I mean, he makes a play and pretty frequently. I'm really curious about him, where he's going to fit in.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
The one
I just can't get over how broad he is.
He's huge, and they've been giving him reps on the edge too.
Yeah.
His hands are so heavy.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while he'll hit someone with a club. Bakalahi the other day they were like in the far, oh, you weren't there. They're in the far field on the first field closest to Patterson, and he had a little shake, and then he just hit Bakalahi with his right hand like a club move. Man, I was like, I felt that. Just heavy hands, big dude.
Yeah. Wonder why he went so late. I mean, look, he hasn't played yet. Who knows?
It was a pretty deep defensive tackle class.
Yeah, true. I wonder how much of it was, that whole thing about drafting an older guy who's had the opportunity. I mean, was he 24?
Yeah, 24. And he had 1 year of like really high level production. And sometimes you worry that's because he's like 23 years old going against an 18-year-old kid out there.
Exactly. Right.
Especially at that position.
The fireman Danny theory.
A little bit.
Yeah. He was 26.
Yeah, it's crazy. Receiver DB 101s. Eli Ricks had a nice pass breakup on Jahad Dotson. And then later on, Dotson beat him with a deep move. And it looked like, did you see this one?
Yeah.
It looked like Ricks just stopped running. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
It was weird.
It was weird.
I thought Devontae Smith had some nice reps against Quinyon Mitchell, and the ball just like didn't hit him. But I thought he got some separation.
Yeah. It's without AJ, that's the battle to watch.
Elijah Cooks made another catch, this time against Adoree Jackson. Just slowly every day he said his goal was to make a play a day, and I think he's been doing that.
Yeah, you had a nice story on him. Everyone should check that one out. He's got that size. He's catching the ball really well. He's got a shot.
He's been the best receiver outside of the top 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's like most likely to make the team. They have a couple of draft picks.
Yeah.
Who have been getting more opportunities and they've invested time in, but I think just based purely on plays
performed.
we've seen, it's been Cooks.
Have those 2 draft picks from last year, those 2 late round guys, either one of them stood out to you at all?
We're talking Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson. Anaya Smith has gotten some really nice reps against Cooper DeJean in those one-on-ones, but then again, like if you're playing in the middle of the field, you have a two-way go. It's hard for a defensive back, but they've been impressive reps. He's gotten a lot of opportunities with the first team. It seems like he's the next guy up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because they think Johnny Wilson is more like a specific kind of player. I've been a little disappointed by Wilson's summer. I think he's gotten a little bit better as it's gone on. He's made some plays. He made a play. It was weird. They had him against Perry Nickerson today, but he did make a catch down the field.
Yeah. I haven't seen a whole lot of production from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen a whole lot from Smith in team either. So
here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's the next guy in, though, that's like, you still have either a Devontae or an AJ out there. You still have Dallas Goedert. You still have Jahan Dotson, Saquon. So he's going to be the last skill guy option when they're in 11 personnel, at least. I think that was all I really wanted to get to from those one-on-ones. Will Shipley, you see that spin move he had?
Yeah.
Middle of the field?
Yeah.
Nifty.
It was. And it's not what I expected him to do.
Mm-hmm. Eagles have a new long snapper.
They do.
Christian Johnstone, because Charlie Hewlett is limited. Johnstone looked fine today. The operation looked fine with him. And then we saw them working on contingency plans today. So Grant Calcaterra was snapping the football, Cooper DeJean holding for Jake Elliott.
Yeah, it's good to was Camus out there at all?
No, Camus was the old emergency kicker, right?
Yeah.
Who would be an emergency kicker now?
What was it last year where they had everybody kicking
tryouts? It didn't go well. That was 2 years ago, I think.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah,
it wasn't really tryouts. They were just having some fun.
Who would be who? I don't know. I don't know if any of these guys kicked in high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
So work on
that. The last thing I have. Oh, you know what? Actually, the penultimate note here. Braden Mann. He was booming the heck out of some footballs today.
Yeah. It was that dry air. The ball goes farther because it's like one of the first days it hasn't been super humid.
Gosh.
And when the air is drier, it's thinner. And plus there's the extra altitude.
Where? At the NovaCare?
They raised the fields. No, but he's got a powerful leg. I wonder if he got stronger because he's been killing the ball.
Today was like, wow.
Yeah.
And you don't normally say that watching punts.
You do.
Sometimes. I covered Shane Leckler for a year. That dude was unbelievable.
Yeah.
There was one day I remember like the whole team was practicing on a field and Shane Leckler was by himself on a different field. And my eyes were gravitating toward Leckler because he was punting the ball and they were bouncing out of bounds at the one, like 12 in a row, just out of bounds at the one. It was incredible.
Is he the best punter ever?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Ooh. Interesting.
I think it's silly that he's not in because he's a punter. He's the best ever at his position. He should be in.
Are there any specialists in? Is Morton Anderson in?
Yeah, there's some kickers in.
A couple kickers.
Yeah. Ray Guy's in, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Ray Guy's I think is the only punter in, and Leckler is better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think he deserves to be in. Anything else from practice that I missed?
No, I think you covered it all, as always.
Okay. Did you like my stupid observation of the day?
I didn't read it, actually.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a good video.
Yeah, well, so I'll have to turn my volume off so we don't.
I don't think there's any volume on it.
I didn't know that.
It was just Reggie, the Eagles director of joy, getting taken for a jog after practice by Nick Muse.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Reggie was around today.
Reggie had some energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think Saquon's bringing energy to practice. How about Reggie? You know Reggie's full name?
Reggie.
No.
I don't then.
Reggie's full, and Reggie is the team dog. Reggie's full name is Reggie White Laurie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Reggie White Laurie.
Laurie, yeah.
I took pictures of every bust at the Hall of Fame this week of Eagles. And Reggie's bust, the guy did not do the best job.
Oh, no? That's a shame.
Yeah. but the Doc bust was insane.
Does Doc have the little Scully cap on?
Well, I'm going to find the Doc bust here. It's incredible.
Okay, well, why don't you send it to me and we'll have it up on the other side of the break.
That's fancy.
All right, let's do that.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
Eagles fans, be a part of the Birds Takeover in Kansas City with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly Sports Trips. Includes optional airfare, hotel, an exclusive pep rally, all-inclusive tailgate, ticket to the game, and more. Book your Eagles ultimate fan experience today. All right, we're back on the Eagle Eye podcast. If you're watching, there he is. There's Doc. He's kind of terrifying looking at him. I'm going to get away from him a little bit.
But I think it really captures his, ferocity. What's the noun form?
Yeah, ferocity, I believe.
Yeah. So, it's pretty, and you never know what you're going to get. And the players don't see the bust until they're on the stage just before their speech. But yeah, this one, that's my favorite one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Sound from today. Players we talked to, Vic Fangio before practice. Let's start there. Anything from Vic that kind of piqued your interest?
There was a lot from Vic. Start with Jihad Campbell. He was asked, you're throwing a lot at him. Do you worry that maybe it's too much? He said, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he admitted that. That was
a
moment of honesty.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get from Vic. But when you have an athlete who's so versatile and can do so many things well, and he's absorbing it all, then keep doing it as long as he can handle it. So far he has. And we talked to Jihad after practice and he said he's fine with bring it on. He said it's a lot easier now. It's like in college, you have classes and football to learn. He's like, now I just got football, so I can handle it. And he likes it. So
the other note on Jihad Campbell, Vic was asked about Campbell as a rusher, an edge rusher. And he basically said, pump the brakes on that. He's got a lot to learn there.
Yeah.
And I've developed a theory.
Yeah.
That I want to share with you. No information behind it, just a theory. When the Eagles drafted Jihad Campbell and Howie Roseman walked out there and really talked up his ability as an edge rusher, I think that was just the Howie thing. I think that was him talking himself into finally drafting an inside linebacker in the first round. And he kind of sold himself on the extra ability and the upside this guy has as an edge rusher. I think it's pretty clear Vic Fangio sees him as an inside backer.
Yeah, but he does get some work with Jeremiah Washburn, the overhang players coach. And I think it's something that in time will be part of his toolbox. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of it this year.
Because I think Vic Fangio is fine with him being just an inside backer,
right?
Which sounds dismissive. It's not. He could be great at it.
Yeah.
I think he's excited about the opportunity to see him eventually as an edge rusher, but I think Howie was probably more excited.
Yeah, and I think Vic was pretty clear that he's a work in progress on that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes, but I wouldn't expect a ton of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think he has the ability, at least in year one, to be a really good inside backer.
He is, man. He was walking around the field after practice. He had just taken his jersey off. And you look at this guy, he's 21. And, you look at him, he's like, is this he would be like a small offensive tackle, a tight end, an edge. I mean, he just looks like an athlete. He looks like a positionless player. Like he could do anything. And he probably could. Man, I can't wait to see him play. And I love his attitude. He's a smart kid. He really wants everything thrown at him. He just wants to absorb it all and learn it. And I can't wait to see how he plays.
Does he play in the preseason?
I think no.
No?
Yeah.
I think Vic really wants to see him.
Probably.
I think Vic really wants to see everybody.
Yeah.
I asked Vic about the preseason games and the value to him because I think there are just some positions where you really it's tough to fill out an evaluation without real football and without actually tackling.
Yeah.
Especially at linebacker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and they don't tackle to the ground, but they get in position to make the tackle, so you can kind of see. Like he was talking about Keeley, I think, and he says he expects Keeley because Keeley's not the biggest guy, but he says he expects him to be a good tackler if he is a starter, just because of the form that he shows. And he also said he's a good special teamer. So I guess you can project some of it, but yeah, you can't project all of it.
I'm looking through my notes from Vic. I don't have a ton about, like, he did agree that Uche has had some really good moments. He said this about a few players. He's like, they need to cut down their bad plays. Which,
yeah.
He said that about Eli Ricks. I think he said that about Tristan McCollum. And I believe he said that about Uche as well. And he said some of the, the quote unquote bad plays might not like stand out to an untrained eye, or even without maybe going back and watching on tape and knowing what they were supposed to do on
That's
the
the whole thing. Yeah. Like we don't know their assignment on every play.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's all I had from Vic. You?
No, that just about covers it.
Tell me about Saquon after practice.
Saquon was great. And I love talking to Saquon. He's so thoughtful, and like he's one of those guys, like you ask him a question, he'll sit there and think about it. Like most guys just kind of answer whatever comes to their head. He talked about trash talking and how much more a part of his game it is this year than last year. He said, last year I came in, I was the newbie. These guys didn't know me. I was pretty quiet. He said, but yeah, now like he said, my best attribute as a player is my trash talking.
I don't buy that.
And somebody said, what about like the way you run the ball? He's like, no. He's like, my trash talking, he says, I've taken it to another level. And he talked about just how much fun it is. And I asked him, what's the key to really getting under a guy's skin? And he said, you have to know exactly how far you can go and just not go over the line, but take it right up to the line. And he said it's fun and it keeps practice moving. He said the day goes by faster, but he said also he uses it to get guy, like if he sees a guy who's maybe dragging a little bit or not having a great day, he'll like trash talk him just to kind of get him juiced up and get him going again. Like the guy's, oh, I'm going to show him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, he it's kind of a form of leadership. It really is, to use it that way. And he said guys sit around at dinner and they joke about what each one said.
Well, we saw with years with BG, right? There was no like bad intentions.
Right.
And I think it's similar with Saquon. Like there are no bad intentions behind it, but it kind of, it adds some energy to a practice. And yeah, by the time you get to day 9, day 10 of training camp, sometimes you need that.
Right. And he was asked about BG and what he learned from him as far as trash talking. And he just laughed. He said, well, BG never stopped talking, but he said nobody ever knew what he was saying. he talked so fast. And he was laughing about that. But yeah, and he says he'll do it with anybody. Like,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he said like his favorite guys to go after are Reed Blankenship and Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Which I think you wrote about.
I talked to both of those guys yesterday.
Yeah. It's fun. It makes practice fun for us watching, and it makes it fun for them out there. And those guys they'll give it right back. So yeah, another part of his game that has taken a big step in year 2 as an Eagle. He talked about
anything else? Yeah, anything else from him?
Talked about Jihad, and he said people don't realize how good this guy already is. He said he's going to be a problem, and he talked about just his versatility, his athleticism, and just how freaking big he is.
What's funny? So we've seen this before. A lot of times, veterans really don't like to give the new first round pick like overwhelming acclaim early. And this has not reached Jalen Carter levels. Remember a few years ago, Jalen's first year, it was like everyone on the field was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
this guy's different. I don't think it's to that level with Jihad, but the veterans have taken notice that this guy, there's something different about him.
Yeah. I think, and again, I think for us too, like we don't want to get carried away because he's never played a snap. I think he has a chance to be really, really good.
Yeah. Do you draw the comparison a little bit to Jalen in his rookie year in camp?
Yeah, I do think it's a little more. I think part of it's the nature of the position. Like I don't think he's made a ton of plays.
He made some.
He's made some,
Yeah.
but when you watch him run, when you watch him move, when you see how athletic he is at that size and how fast he is, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit by him.
I would love for them to bring. They has not done any 1-on-1s as an edge rusher yet. That'd be fun. I'd like to see how he would do in those.
Yeah, they list him at 6'3", 235. When you look at him like across the field, I mean, he looks like he's like 6'5", 250.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so. Yeah, I mean, he's 21. I just think he's going to be really, really good. And I mean, you talk about that position, and I think Trott's made big strides. We know how good Nakobe is. Obviously, Zach Bone is a first-team All-Pro. Talk about Smile Mondon, who's had a good camp, and there's other guys who've been making plays.
Lance Dixon, undrafted from Toledo, has made plays.
Yeah, I was almost in Toledo yesterday.
Talked to Campbell after practice.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, he's happy to have all this on his plate.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. He has a lot of pride about being from New Jersey, a place where he said doesn't get enough respect as, for creating football players. But
I don't know if that is, I mean, I've got a list actually on my laptop of I think there's like 234 South Jersey players have been drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first guy was in like 1937 from Bridgeton, I think. But a lot of first round picks from South, a ton of them. Hall of Famers from South Jersey. So certainly, if that's true, it's not because of me. I've been carrying the flag for South Jersey football. They've really produced, especially running backs. You think of the running backs that have come from South Jersey. It's incredible. So yeah, I mean, you start with Franco Harris and Mike Rozier and Gordy Lockbaum, Heisman Trophy, third place. But yeah, there's been William Green, Ron Dane, Heisman Trophy winner. There's so many of them.
Corey Clement,
yeah, Glassboro High.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gosh, the guy
Jonathan Taylor,
yeah, Salem High. A.B. Brown was in the league from Salem.
Sean Green,
yeah, Sean Green, was he somewhere at the shore of mainland or something?
I don't know.
Come on, you're supposed to know this stuff.
That's your hyperfixation.
He's from Winslow
Okay.
Township. Sean Green, the Eagles, also.
Mm-hmm.
He's a third-round pick.
After practice, I had a chance to talk to Johnny Wilson and Anais Smith.
How'd that go?
It went well because the other day I asked Kevin Patullo about those two guys specifically and what he wants to see from them in year 2. And he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but he wants to see them get better at the things that aren't as natural for them. Right. So like they're very different body types. They do different things. And so I asked Johnny Wilson and Anais Smith, like, what is the thing that you need to get better at that might not be your comfort zone? Johnny Wilson said playing inside and outside, kind of playing any spot on the field, because he's kind of a big guy. He's known as either playing outside receiver or playing in line and being a blocker. So He wants to really become a complete receiver, and playing in the slot is an interesting idea for someone with that size. I think that could create some different matchups, kind of like we saw in those 1-on-1s today with him against Perry Nickerson. Like every once in a while, if you throw him in the slot, he's going to get one of those matchups.
Yeah, no, that's true. He's got to catch the ball, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good start to catch the ball. Anais Smith said for him, it's contested catches playing through contact, which kind of obvious for a guy who's undersized, but he said he's tried to work on that as much as possible.
Interesting. They both still have opportunities, but I don't think either one has had a great camp in year 2.
No, but you know what? Right or wrong, when you're drafted, you get a longer leash.
Sure.
And even though Elijah Cooks has been great, if I were to tell you who's more likely to be on the team, Johnny Wilson or Elijah Cooks, who are you picking right now?
Johnny Wilson.
Yeah. So, I think that a guy who isn't drafted by a team has to really just blow them away and be that much better than the players who were drafted.
Yeah, I think that's true. I just think they're so enamored of Johnny Wilson's blocking ability. He's got a unique skill at that position.
Mm-hmm.
And
they like that.
I don't blame him. Yeah. He's really good blocker.
Okay, you want to take another break, or is there anything else from the sound today?
Who else did we talk to? That might have been it.
Ooh, Jeremiah Trotter, Miles Hinton was back there. Talked to Christian Parker, the defensive backs coach.
Yeah, I was in there for Trot. Wasn't a whole lot from there. I'm struck by how confident he is, and he's making the best. He's getting a ton of reps with the ones, and he said he's not counting reps. He's not paying attention to that. He's just trying to make plays whenever he's out there. But I mean, he can play this. He can play linebacker. I mean, he might be their fourth best linebacker, but not a bad fourth best linebacker to have.
Certainly true.
I wrote that he might be the best fourth best linebacker they've ever had. And somebody sent me like their linebackers from like 1974 or something and said this guy was better.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll run a correction.
You want to do emails?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break and then emails when we get back. Mark your calendars. We're headed down the shore for a Phillies watch party. Join us in Seattle on August 12th to watch the Phillies face the Reds with raffles, special guests, and more. All right, back on the Eagle Eye Podcast, eagle-eye at nbcuni.com, QR code on the screen. That's how you email us some questions. First one is from Matt. Hey, Dave, I think Rube mentioned his favorite book during the recent episode where you guys asked questions about each other. Pretty sure you said Grapes of Wrath, so I'm guessing that's when Rube mentioned his. Hope that helps. Matt, it did help. I went back, found the episode. Rube said his favorite book, Jukebox Queen of Malta by Nicholas Rinaldi.
Yeah, what an incredible book that was.
And it's funny because when we did that episode, you said it with such conviction. Like, yeah, of course, this is my favorite book.
Yeah, I just didn't think of that yesterday. I mean, it's been a while since I read it. Highly recommended. Nicholas Rinaldi.
Okay.
Wonder Boys, which by Michael Chabon, which I mentioned yesterday, is really good too.
I have an update from Jane. And They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
I asked Rube for his favorite They Might Be Giants songs, and he asked for mine. My favorite is Birdhouse in Your Soul, which is my favorite song of all time. But other favorites include Brontosaurus, Don't Let's Start, Sleeping in the Flowers, and Music Jail.
I think Don't Let's Start was on my list as well.
Okay.
Great song from their first record. First time I saw them was at the Chestnut Cabaret, which was just torn down. It's going to become a Drexel University Science Center, I believe. Saw some great shows there. It was a great, great place to see music. It wasn't on Chestnut. It was on Sansom. It was near Chestnut.
Jane had a question for us, too.
Oh.
I'm wondering if there are any current available free agents that you think Howie should consider. Obviously, this is late into the offseason. There aren't a whole lot of guys left. But do you think there's anyone out there who could elevate this roster?
I don't know if there's a glaring need to bring anyone in right now. See how the preseason games go, but how he's always looking. He's always trying to get the roster better, but I think they have talent all over the place and depth at a lot of places and some good roster battles. So I don't feel like there's a huge need to bring in anybody right now.
Any position that you're keeping an eye on?
I mean, if anything, maybe interior D-line, just keep an eye if somebody comes
I actually
available.
think they have a lot of depth there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think like what Howie.
I think the edge would be priority over that.
Maybe.
Cornerback, if you don't love the way the competition's gone?
I think it's too early for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And safety always, like maybe Vic doesn't love Sydney. Makuba's missed too much time. But then again, yeah, probably see how some of this stuff plays out. Next from Timothy. Hey guys, love the show. I recall when Brendan Graham made the play on Tom Brady to force the fumble in the Super Bowl, he was doing that from the defensive tackle position, though he primarily played as an edge. I wonder in got to have it pass rush situations if Nolan Smith might move inside to get their best 7 on the field. So he has a list here: Campbell, Smith, Carter, Hunt, Dean / Trotter, and Vaughn. So you think Nolan Smith inside?
I don't recall. Have we seen much of that?
Not a ton with him. We've seen some guy like we have seen them move around some guys. So Hunt has been inside
Yeah.
a little bit. Now they have some pretty good pass rushing interior linemen. They have at times gone bigger. I think they've gone bigger more than smaller in camp, and they've put either Mo or Jalen Carter out on the edge.
And I wonder if, like, I mean, if you're going to be going up against guards and interior linemen, like Nolan's not like BG was a bigger guy. I think you might want to, and Nolan's strong, but I'm not sure he's the matchup you want against a guard.
Yeah, I mean, but it depends, right? I think there are ways for a smaller guy to win. We've seen that. Like,
Yeah.
Morrow is kind of an undersized guy, and I don't know if you heard this, Landon Dickerson explaining facing Ojima, and he said he's awkward in like a good way, awkward to block.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting thought. I'm sure Vic has thought about everything. So maybe at some point we'll see it.
I asked Vic about playing some of those big guys on the edge, and he goes, "Yeah, it's something we do on occasion." Okay. I think there's something to it. I think there's something to having a big body out there when they're used to facing quicker speed guys.
Yeah.
I think that's like a shock when you have a rep against Nolan Smith, and then all of a sudden Jalen Carter's out there.
Yeah.
Next question is from Dan. Dave and Rube, with the Cowboys, Micah Parsons conversations now public, how do you envision Howie handling these conversations? For example, I'd be willing to bet Jalen Carter and his agent already know Howie will be looking to sign him long term, but I'm more curious about players like Reed Blankenship, who many thought will be signed by now. Josh Uche, Isaiah Rodgers, Jahan Dotson also come to mind. Do you think Howie pitches playing time for potential payouts elsewhere? And then we have another thing from him. But what do you think about some of those conversations?
I'm not sure I understand the question. What exactly is he asking?
For guys who sign here, I guess on 1-year deals. It's a little different because Reed's been here and he's had an expiring contract versus guys like Uche or, I guess no, these guys are on 1-year deals, like finishing up, playing on that 1-year deal.
So how he convinced them to come here on 1-year deals?
Or keep them happy with 1 year left on a contract. I don't think Uche is the right example here, but like a guy like Dotson who gets traded here with 2 years left, enters the final year of a contract.
I mean, the motivation is that you have a chance to make a lot of money if you play well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Becton. I mean, there's just, how many of those guys, those 1-year guys, Isaiah Rodgers got a big deal. So, if you're on a 1-year deal or an expiring deal, I mean, that's a great opportunity to make some money and get some good film out there.
Yeah. And as far as Carter, by the way, Drew Rosenhaus was at practice on Sunday. Just watching Jalen Carter going, my 10% is going to look pretty good next year.
Man. I don't think Jalen Carter needs an agent.
He did it in the draft process.
Well, yeah, but for that next contract?
Yeah.
Just walk into Howie's office and say, 42 a year.
Yeah, if he didn't have an agent, Jerry would be interested.
Oh, that's the other thing Saquon said about Jihad. He said he reminds him of Micah. As a player, not as a
That's pretty high praise. Did he give any detail on that?
He just said his build and just the way, and obviously they've known they're very close.
Yeah.
He didn't hesitate to throw that out there.
You think Vic's going to sit the entire team down and be like, stop comparing our players to Micah Parsons, please?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
It's the second player to get that comp.
Right.
Next one from Mike. Hey, fellas. First of all, I want to say thanks for all the great content you both provide.
Thank you.
I appreciate both of your commitment to the fans. With that being said, am I crazy for thinking the NFL's Hall of Fame is underwhelming compared to a place like Cooperstown? I understand Dave has not been to Canton yet, so this may be a better question for Rube, who I assume has been to Cooperstown, but the Baseball Hall of Fame absolutely blows anything the NFL has in Canton out of the water. I get that there's a lot more history in baseball in Cooperstown outside of just the MLB, and maybe my standard was set so high from going to Cooperstown many times growing up, but seeing Canton as an adult left something to be desired.
Well, first of all, it's not the NFL's Hall of Fame. It's Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's not connected in any way to the NFL. And there was some non-NFL displays in there this week that were pretty cool. There was a display on Black colleges football programs, and they had photos of every player in the Black College Hall of Fame, including Hugh Douglas and Richard Dent and some other former Eagles. They had a thing on women football. But I was in Cooperstown for the first time last year. I just went up, spur of the moment. I just drove up. I think I stayed in Oneonta. Is that the next town down? Saw a semi-pro baseball game in the park. I didn't think there was a huge difference between. Have you been to Cooperstown?
I have, yeah.
I mean, it's really cool.
I went as a kid though, so I'd probably have to go back and see it again.
Yeah, I think they're on a par with each other. I don't see a huge difference. I'm more of a. I mean, I grew up more of a baseball fan, and I loved Cooperstown. What I loved about Cooperstown was, like, there's games going on outside the Hall of Fame. There was like a Little League game. There was actually a team from Philly playing, so I sat on there on the third base line, was cheering them on.
When I went to Cooperstown, I was a kid. I was probably like 10-ish. I got a baseball bat engraved, like a Cooperstown bat, and got an engraved future Hall of Famer in my name. I wasn't even a good 10-year-old baseball player. I don't know why I got that bat.
You probably paid for it.
Yeah, but why would I get a bat that said future Hall of Famer? I didn't have much of a shot. I think I knew that at 10.
Oh, you could have been a late bloomer.
Yeah, maybe.
I hit 12, and I know for me, like I was terrible in Little League, but once the field was like full size, like 60 feet, 6 inches, 90 feet, like I got really good and I made like all-stars and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I sucked when I was in Little League. I just needed the big field. But yeah, I really enjoyed Cooperstown. There's nowhere to eat in Cooperstown.
No.
There was a little like Hall of Fame cafe I had breakfast at. But as far as the displays, I really enjoy the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I went there Friday and Saturday mornings. There's a lot there. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I've been to the hockey.
Other than, I'm sorry, Dave.
No, you're not.
The 48 and 49, I might have mentioned this yesterday. The 48 and 49 Eagles, who won back-to-back championships, both by shutout, never been done by anyone else. There should be more about those teams, and there's not. There's very, very little. There's a team photo of each team, and that's it. So I'd like to see more on those teams. That's a legendary accomplishment. Yes.
I was just going to say I've been to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. I like that one.
You ever been to the Basketball Hall of Fame?
I'm not.
Springfield, Mass?
No.
Any Hall of Fames you've been to, like non-sports or just like off the wall? Like in Milwaukee, they have like the Typewriter Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, though?
Museum.
I mean, that's a museum. That's not a Hall of Fame.
Okay.
That's different.
In St. Louis, they have the horse racing. Was it St. Louis Horse Racing Hall of Fame? Or I think we went there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Hall of Fames are different than museums.
I understand the difference.
Okay.
But
rock and roll, obviously.
Yeah, which I really like.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they don't put the right people in, but as far as the museum part of it, I mean, come on. Don't get me started, but
that'll be the pod after we stop recording.
But as far as, I mean, that I love it. I love the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You know what I think? There were two pieces of memorabilia that stuck with me from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One is Michael Jackson's glove.
Yep.
It's so cool. It's like just somehow like hovering in the air. And the other was a piece of the Otis Redding plane.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, but just
that's really morbid.
Amazing that it's there.
The best thing I saw was I don't know if you like the Grateful Dead at all. The original keyboard player, organ player, Pigpen. They had his B3 Hammond organ.
That's cool.
That he played on tour, I think up through, I guess he was in the band up through 70 or 71.
There's also a really cool John Lennon piano.
I took a picture of every keyboard being a keyboard player. I think I did see that one. Yeah.
And it's like, this is the piano he wrote, whatever.
Maybe Imagine. Or
one of his amazing songs. Like, he wrote it at this piano.
I was reading about, there was a piano that Lennon and McCartney both wrote all-time great Beatles songs on the same piano. I have to look that up. But they had Keith Emerson's synth. They had some cool stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah, I recommend it. Anybody who happens to be in Northeastern Ohio for any other reason.
Oh, you know what? While we're talking Hall of Fame, shout out to John Clark. going in the Temple Media Hall
Really?
of Fame. Yeah. I saw that post a while back. Good for Clarky.
Good for Clarky.
You're a Hall of Famer, right?
I'm in the South Jersey Track Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I MC there at Banquet.
Very cool.
I just put myself in. And when you're the MC, you can do whatever you want. I'm going in.
I'm going in this year.
Give it up for me.
I really want to find the Clarky thing, but
he's also in the Airport Interview Hall of Fame.
He has so many posts on social media. I can't find it. Well, congrats to him, though. It did seem really cool and certainly deserving. So
absolutely.
No Hall of Fames for me.
Yeah.
Got to keep working at it.
Yeah.
All right. Eagle at NBCUni.com. If you enjoy the Eagle Eye podcast, please do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe there as well. Rube.
Yeah. Just one quick thing.
Okay.
Most of the music we hear at practice is hip hop, but
today.
This year, today was about 50-50, and this year they've been mixing in some like classic rock.
Mm-hmm.
We heard Bon Jovi the other day.
I think it started. They did like a little Ozzy tribute.
Did a little
after
Ozzy.
He died.
Play some AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
Today we heard "Damn Yankees."
Yeah,
which I named that tune in about 4 seconds. That "Can You Take Me Higher." I think Tommy Shaw from Styx was in that band. I believe Ted Nugent was in that band.
Okay.
I think Ted Nugent, Tommy Shaw during a break from Styx. So yeah, that was kind of not on my bingo card here.
Yeah,
Damn Yankees.
They've really mixed it up a little bit this year.
Yeah.
We mentioned that they played Duran's intro music.
Oh yeah.
And then talking to Vic about him today, and he's like, "Yeah, he's pretty good." I was like, "Yeah, 103 miles per hour, not bad." All right, let's wrap this up. For Ruben Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye, presented by Nissan. Day 9 of training camp, day 10 coming tomorrow.